All right, fuck it. All right. All right, what's up, boys? I'm back with another video. Today, what we're going to be doing is we're going to get into some more live help. We're going to go on Reddit. We're going to go through people that are experiencing issues and other things like that. We are definitely in the process of improving things, but we're going to provide value. We're going to help guys, and we're going to help you all get where you want to be. I just want to say in the beginning of this, if you are a man that's struggling, you're lost, you feel like you have no real guideline to how you want to live life, how you should be living life, you feel like you're stuck, you're frustrated, you hit a financial rock bottom, you went through a bad breakup, you lost all of your stuff, you lost your job, got fired, never had a job, I'm here and I would like to help you. I have a little bit of life experience, and there are some things that I want to share to help you, take anyone that's interested in this particular subject, in this matter, and take you from feeling lost, broken, defeated, and bring you to a place of freedom. Because that's what's important. It's not just about the, whatever, it's about the freedom and feeling free, feeling alive, and being able to assert yourself as a man and being able to overcome any challenges that you might have been going through in life. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the first one that we have, this is from Avenge Outliers 97. It says, I am working on an app to analyze changing life-changing decisions to bring in more clarity on our options. Advice from others, our own personality type, intentions, making decisions. So looking to understand the problem areas and pain points for people who are going through a major life decision at the moment. Would be great if you can share your opinions or any feedback. Welcome to your discussion. Well, obviously this is somebody that's probably going to be selling something, but just to say something to that, before I make any real life-changing decisions, what I like to do in a good practice that I always have to get myself into is to come back, and I like to, number one, slow down. Number two, slow down. And then once you think you're going slow down some more. And then once I slow down some more, then I'm able to get clarity. There's a saying that I heard and I follow as I go through life, or I try my best to, I really do, is never make a real decision when you're emotional about something, whether that be leaving a job, a breakup, and this, that, and the other. You always want to do these kind of things when you're clear-minded, clear-headed, you know what I mean? So that sort of thing. So I think that's all I really got to say about that. Let's see, where we at? Okay. So letting go of my safety net, I think. This one comes from Mr. J. Hey, everyone. So I've been smoking consistently for about 10 years, and I haven't taken any breaks. And I'm at the point where no amount of smoke gives me my psychological / mental effects. I think I just do it now because I enjoy the burn in my lungs, like aggressive breathing exercise. I would consider myself a super user, as I can clear more than 5 grams in a day, and I'm not proud of it by any means. I've had this overwhelming feeling that smoking has gone from helping me to drowning me. I've been slowly tapering off using the pen, but I don't know how to feel normal as I suffer from CPTSD. I don't know what that is, that acronym. I'd imagine it's some type of disorder like PTSD, but I read that wrong. I suffer from chronic PTSD. That is a good one. That's actually a pretty interesting one. And I think I can help with that, my friend. And I'm going to tell you how. Give me a sec. So we as men, we experience lows and we experience highs. Okay. And us experiencing the lows is part of what the journey is about. And us also experiencing, no pun intended, the highs is also what we experience. And the thing that I would have to say for this individual, if it was me, is I would, first of all, you being aware that you suffer from chronic PTSD is already a plus. And we got to get in therapy. Like, we got to figure that out, right? And that's something we have to do. But I would say number one is we have to replace whatever it is you've been using to medicate with something else, because you're not going to be able to just, straight throw that away and expect something like nothing to fill that void. Like, this what happens when you quit an addiction, when you stop using. And in this case, I'm assuming it's marijuana. But you get into a point where you're going to start to stop using and replace it with something else, preferably something that's not another choice of drug or something like that. So what are we going to use to replace this? If you haven't already, I would get into a support group. I'm pretty sure there are support groups online. There's probably some in your community that you can reach out to and find, and you could all get together and talk. That's one form of filling the void. Another form that you can do, if you're already addicted to it, and by the way, I'm no doctor or super professional, but it's just from what I've seen people do, is I've seen people, slowly start back to reduce the usage and also at the same time filling the void. So, he says he cleared, 5 grams in a day. Well, how about we start tracking it back to 4.5? Or we start identifying triggers, and then instead of, maybe smoking a bowl, that maybe what we do is we exercise. And every time that we want to smoke a bowl or something like that, we go for a walk. And this could be some way that you deal with it. But, this is all like logistically speaking, if this is possible, because I don't know what your triggers are. And I don't know what it is that you're going through that is causing this, so it's kind of hard to say. But that's one way I would start. And you also talk about breathing exercise. Like, I got a gym behind me. You can do all your gym stuff and things like that. You can get a bicycle. But I think exercising and honestly start working through these steps. I mean, you can stabilize, like clean your room, clean your home, clean your car, get organized. Like, these are all things that you can do instead of smoking a bowl, because that involves you, number one, it's going to clear your mind. That's why that's why I put this as step number one. It's to stabilize the brain, stabilize the body, stabilize the mind, and the soul. So we clean up, we organize our area, because that's the first thing we see. We see our area, and then we open it up, and then you open your eyes, and if everything is organized, it's automatically going to bring you a little bit more clarity, a little bit more clairvoyance or something like that. Cleaning your car, it's the same thing. Your car is an extension of your house. So, having a clean car, having, a clean environment, even when you're traveling to and from work, going to and from the store, being in a clean, organized, smelling good vehicle is going to ease your anxiety, and it's going to help with your, with your PTSD, my friend. Unless the car was the thing that caused your accident, or caused it to be like that. That could be a different story, but I'm just giving you, if I was in this situation, what I would do. Going for a walk. This is, once again, something else that you can put in place of smoking. You can put that in place of that. Like, you can come up, you can say, instead of smoking a bowl, I'm going to go for a walk. And if it's raining or if it's cold and you don't want to go outside, then we need to get a treadmill, just a simple walking treadmill. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to walk. We're going to get the little, the little tiny weights. You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to go and we're going to walk. We're going to walk it out, man. We are going to walk it out. And why are we going to walk it out? We're going to walk it out because we have to replace these things with something else. That's why. Then we're going to secure work. That's what we're going to do. We're going to secure a job. We're going to secure our future. We're going to secure making money, positive, consistent income streams. Because for all I know, I don't know him, but I'm telling you that if you follow these guidelines, it's very it's organized like this for a reason, because it's going to take you through the steps of, number one, conquering, owning your PTSD. It's going to create peace, not only in your brain, but in your area. And then once you create the peace, then you're going to go to other places. You're going to get in that clean car and you're going to go to work. And then you're going to be like, man, you know what? I'm a little less stressed today. Because being in a home like that, it creates nothing but stress, anxiety, and all of those things around it. So that's probably one of the biggest things that I would say that you can do. That's definitely going to help you like pretty much immediately, to be honest, like almost immediately. So you secure work, you got money coming in, and now we got to control the money, right? We do our expenses. We find our, we do our Excel sheet. We get our pen and paper out. We write our budget. And we spend money in the places that we need to spend it. So like in a guy like this, he needs to be spending money on therapy. BetterHelp. I'm not sponsored by BetterHelp. Not yet. But if you're interested, you reach out to me. But anyway, BetterHelp. No, seriously. BetterHelp is it's a pretty good platform to do it online. If, you might be in a region that doesn't really have the therapy like that. So you can always do it that way and it should be fine. All right. What else we got here? Yeah. And forge a brotherhood. So like I said earlier, if you have an addiction, there is a support group out there for you. I can almost guarantee you there's a support group out there that will, help you get there. All right. The next thing we have on that, right? We're going to build skills. Building skills through our brotherhood, through where we put the money. We're going to build skills. We're going to network. We're going to talk to people. We're going to read, and we are going to get better at something. We're going to get better. We're going to keep ourselves occupied, not sitting around smoking weed. And then we're going to strengthen our mind through therapy, through meditation, through a spiritual journey. If you're not a Christian, if you're not religious, whatever the case may be, then this is the point where you would start seeing that. You'd start seeking that, and then you'll start getting to knowing yourself. You'll get into regulating things. You'll get into being who it is that you want to be and need to be. And then on top of that too, once we get there, now we start creating a vision, right? Like for me, right? My vision is I want to help people through YouTube. I want to help men that are, struggling just like this guy right here. And just like men that feel lost, you don't know how to get where you want to go. I want to help you get there. That's why I'm doing these live streams. This is what I want to do. It's what I've always wanted to do. And there it is. We make money. We serve a community. We give back. And this is what it's all about. It's not about, being billionaires or millionaires and blah, blah, blah. It's about completing the journey, right? But everybody has to start with step number one. And that's what step number one is for this man here. Right? All right. Golly, man. My cats are jumping all up and down through the house. Okay. How can you block a website forever? This is from Broccoli, 1879. So Broccoli asks, how can you block a website forever? I have OCD and rumination. I don't know what that is. Confessing and seeking acceptance surrounding my worries are my biggest compulsions. If anyone have ever used ChatGPT, you know how much flattery they do towards you. So I need something that can permanently ban me from entering the website or downloading the app. I know that willpower is the best, but I have OCD and willpower is so hard. I need a push to get better. How can I block a website forever? I have OCD and rumination. So one thing I would say, just from reading this post, this is somebody that needs a little bit more therapy. I'm going to say therapy. You need it, my friend. You need it. But here's the thing with OCD. Okay. And it's the same thing with like ADHD or ADD or something like that, because, I think I suffer from that a little bit. I know people who have it way worse than I do. I know people that have OCD and all of that stuff. So I totally understand that. Blocking the website forever. The thing is, if you have a phone or a computer, all you have to do is type in the address, and that's it. If you find that your mode or like your method of getting on ChatGPT is you clicking on it, right? Or using your phone to do it, then I would say, if you're truly serious about staying off of just ChatGPT, make it as hard as possible for you to actually use it. And that might even require you downgrading into a basic phone, my friend. Yeah, it might. And that's the thing about it, is like, well, how serious are we about this? Because, if you want to get rid of anything in your life, whatever the case may be, you are going to have to make it as hard as possible for you to even use ChatGPT. So that's my thing. And, that's kind of what I don't really, maybe I don't get the question so much. But I know if you're trying to deal with OCD and stuff like that, like, that's going to take some time. That's going to take some therapy. You need to talk to a doctor about that, my friend. That's going to be somebody, like, you're going to have to go see somebody. There's nobody that's going to be able to permanently ban you from the website. There's like this, what you're asking for is impossible. It's pretty much impossible, because it does take willpower. And for you to say that you don't have the willpower to do it, I think that's bullshit. I honestly do. And I'm going to tell you why. And you're like, oh, you're a hard ass. You just don't know how hard it is. I got it. I understand. But if somebody told you that if you got on ChatGPT one more time, that either somebody that was near and dear to your heart was going to be gone forever, you would never get on it again. You know what I mean? And there has to be a point, and I think you're close to it, because if you're posting here on Reddit, then you have to be getting close to a point like that. But I think there comes a point where everybody's going to get to a place where they say, enough is enough is enough. I'm tired of this. I am sick and tired of doing this, and I am making a change now. And that's the point you're almost at, because you're posting here on this website. And it's funny, it's funny. You know what would be funny? I mean, not actually funny, but ironic, is if you use ChatGPT to actually figure out the post that you wanted to, put here. Matter of fact, let me see. Is there more to this? I don't think there is. No, there's not. All right. Yeah. So that would be my thing with this, that it's not just like a 1, 2, 3 thing. You got to get help for this. And if you haven't gotten help for this, then you need to get help for this now. And if you don't make enough money to do that, we got to get to work, and we need to talk to a therapist, and you need to go see a doctor to get you through this, my friend. Okay. I'm 23, financially independent, but still feel like I'm not allowed to live my own life. Is that normal? I'm a 23-year-old male. I've been financially independent from my parents since I turned 18. Good for you. I work full time, pay my own bills, and cover all of my expenses. On paper, I should be free, but emotionally, I don't feel free. I still feel like I'm stuck living a life based on my parents' expectations, not my own choices. I'm in college, but I haven't learned anything meaningful, and it's draining to me. I want to drop out because I don't see the point anymore. I want to shift my lifestyle from something more minimal to something more minimal and affordable. But something in me freezes at the thought of doing that. It's like I'm still waiting for permission to live different. Is there more to this? Yeah. I'll just let me see here. Yeah, to live differently. Like my autonomy never fully developed. I know this sounds strange, especially since I'm financially independent, but I feel like any major decision I make, even if it's completely mine, still carries weight of will my parents freak out? Will they accept it? Am I allowed? Is this normal? Do people go through this? Do I have the right to make these changes if they want the best for me? Okay, this actually is an easy question to answer. This is actually one of the easier questions to answer. All right. Okay. So first and foremost, at 23 years old, if you're saying you're financially independent, that's really good. But you're doing really good in life. Let me tell you that. 23, financially independent, you're on the right track. You said you're in college, but my question would be, if you're in college, who's paying for it? Because if you're saying you're financially independent, are you paying your way through college, or are your parents paying for it? Because for me, if my parents were paying for me to go to college with the expectation that I leave college with a diploma in a certain degree, in a certain career field, and I was scared about dropping out because I know they're footing the bill for it, I would feel bad. I would feel very guilty about doing anything differently than what they set out for me because they're footing the bill for it. See, like that whole dynamic changes when you are paying for it. All that other bullshit go out the window. All that other stuff go out the window. Like when somebody tells me, right, like when you make your own money and you spend your money to make decisions for your life, nobody else has a say so in what it is that you're going to do. Like your parents, like, of course they get like hey, I don't think that's good for you. Let me speak on some wisdom. Let me give you some wisdom, like from my age, and tell you what we've been through so you don't make the same mistake. That's different. But your parents saying that you can't, you're not allowed to do whatever it is you want to do because we're going to be angry with you if you don't finish school. I don't even know what you're going to school for, but yeah. And I think if you're still feeling this way emotionally, I think there needs to be a conversation had with your parents, my friend. There's, at 23, you're a grown ass man. Like, what are you going to be, 40 years old and still let your mommy and daddy tell you what to do? And just judging by this, you're 23, probably single, definitely have no kids. Because I promise you, once you have kids, your parents say, you ain't gonna give a fuck what your parents say, man. You gonna be like, nah, you come raise these kids. You see how, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what that tells me. But 23, financially independent, still feel like I'm not allowed to live my own life. This means that I think there's if I had to take a guess, this is a conversation you need to have with your folks. Like, y'all need to sit down. Y'all need to talk about it over coffee or over lunch, over dinner, and say, Mom, Dad, you guys have been putting a lot of pressure on me and putting all of these expectations on me, and it's weighing me down. And I can't live like this. And this is one of the things that you got to continue to say, that, you can't continue to live this way. And I can't continue to live this way. Hold on one second, y'all. Sorry, y'all. I had kids. If you got kids out there, So anyway, what was I going with? Oh yeah. So anyway, yeah, you need to sit down with your parents, man. Like y'all got to sit down. Y'all got to hash this out, and you need to tell them that I'm grown. And if you pay your own bills and you paying your own way through college, you say, hey, Mom, dad, I love you, but we need to talk about this. I do not like the way that you're pressuring me, and we need to figure this out. And I'm telling you all right now that I'm going to make my own decisions. I would be more willing to listen to any life advice you have. I would love to, get your input on things if you're going to be productive about it. But if you're not, then you're choosing to damage your relationship with your son. And I don't want that. I am grown. I make my own money, and I want to make my own decisions. Because one day, Mr. I don't even know, ZNG, you are going to have a family of your own. And you are going to have to be the man. And you have to be the one to wear the pants. You got to be the one to raise a family. And how are you going to ever get to that point if your mom and your dad are still running your life? We got to grow up, put the pants on, and move forward, man. That's all it is. It's a conversation. It's you putting your foot down, and it's you being a man. That's what being a man is. Telling people, no, you don't tell me what to do. I make my own decisions. Mom, dad, I respect you. I love you, and I will listen to you. I will take your input seriously, but I will make my own decisions, just like you make your own decisions. And that's it. That's that. It is as simple as that. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool. All right, I got one more, and then I got to go, y'all. What time? Yeah. One more, and then I got to roll. Nope, not doing that one. Not doing that one. All right, I'm going to read this one. How can I get my prime back? 18-year-old male here. I was I don't mean to laugh, man, but it's just at 18 years old, man, you are not in your quote unquote prime. You just getting started, my friend. You're still a child, or you're still a kid. I should say that. Anyway, 18 years old. I was a really great student until 10th grade. I was the stereotypical guy who used to score straight A's, even though I studied a little. But everything changed once I got to the 11th grade. I switched from school to a dummy school, which I have to go to for the past 2 years. I'm at home. I got addicted to social media, and I honestly stopped studying because I thought I was the smartest guy who could have achieved everything without putting in work. As a result, I've now lost guilt and shame. Even though I failed miserably in an exam last month, I have no shame. I'm still doing those old things I used to do before every day. So, all right, I'm going to stop this here. First and foremost, humble yourself a little bit, okay? At 18 years old, you have a lot of stuff to learn. When I was 18, I thought that I knew everything, and I didn't. And even now, I'm 31, and I still don't have everything figured out. I promise you I don't. But there are some things that I did do at 18 that I can tell you right now that I did not do the things you're doing. If you think that you can breeze through life and not put in any effort, then you are going to be in a rude awakening. If you're still in high school, because I'm imagining you're going to be graduating, either this year, next year, something like that. Probably this year. You should have graduated. You are going to be in a rude awakening when you get out into this world. As a man, as a young man going into adulthood, you need to continuously apply yourself. And what you're doing, just from reading this little snippet, is you are setting yourself up to fail. And not just fail, but fail miserably. Because you believe that you don't have to try hard in order to get straight A's. And I promise you, life is not about getting straight A's. I know plenty of people I went to school with that were the straight A students that are now working and they're broke. They're struggling, living paycheck to paycheck, addicted to drugs or things like that. Or, I've seen the opposite. I've seen, those people be really successful because they go off and do great things. And that's definitely something you can do too. But you're already getting into a bad habit of assuming that you don't have to try hard or try at all. Like, oh yeah, I didn't have to study and I got straight A's. I just kind of wing it. And if you're just going to quote unquote wing it through life, then you're going to be in for a rough rough time. And you're not in your prime. You're not going to get to your prime till you like 20, 21, 22, maybe 23, when you can actually be fully grown, because you're probably still growing and your testosterone levels are not at the highest. Like you're probably not going to be, and I don't know what your physique look like. I don't know if you're training. I don't know if you're in shape. You're definitely not in your prime if you think you don't have to try. You don't be in your prime. There's very few people in this world who don't have to try to be good. You look at NBA players. Some of them, you can tell that they have natural skills. And if you're saying you have natural skills, like you're naturally got it up here, that's great. But you still need to build on that to be the best, to be the greatest version of you, the quote unquote prime. Right? And the second thing here too is, don't ever think you're too smart to learn something from somebody that is not as smart as you. There is not, every single person on this planet can teach you something you didn't know. Like even I can teach you. I'm teaching you something right now you probably didn't know because you're asking this question. And you think you're probably smarter than me. I don't know. I can tell you I was never a straight A student. And I can tell you that I've made a good bit of money that I want to be, hold on to that money. And I want to be able to, retire and live a fruitful and fulfilling lifestyle. But I will not go into life thinking that I'm better than anyone else, because life can happen to me. It has happened to me, and I have been humbled. Because if you ain't humble now, I promise you, and when you turn 20, 21, 22, and then life hits you, I'm telling you, you're going to be like, so anyway, all right. I think I'm going to end right there, and then we'll do another live stream later this week. We'll get this stuff right, guys. Okay, so don't worry about it too much. Thank you for watching. If you do have a question, just like in this format or something like that, and you want to have me answer it, or you want to talk one-on-one, because eventually we're going to start doing live calls. You want to do that, then you need to call and let me know. Let me know in the comments. That's how we talk. Comments, post, whatever. I'm here to help if I can. All right, y'all. I'll get up with you after a while.